You know what? I'll be honest. Nothing bad particularly happened yesterday. I mean, I guess my low really comes more from, a slight inconvenience. I went to the store to get something, and the thing I was looking for was sadly not there. That tends to happen sometimes. It happens. Nothing you can do about that. But, my high was, I got to talk to my dad yesterday. I got to talk to my mom yesterday. And how about them Cowboys? Woo! Yes! I'll talk about that momentarily. But my act of kindness was. Uh, what was my act of kindness? Oh, right. I actually I actually listened to what my dad told me to do. He told me to do something and I did it for him. It was something small. I didn't really mind doing it. But, yes, good morning and happy Tuesday, everybody. Yes. So, without a doubt, so far in terms of the NFL, this has been like the craziest week so far. Like, a few crazy upsets, a few really big games, and last night my Dallas Cowboys won. To be perfectly honest, I kind of figured they'd win. I was so sure about that, in fact, that honestly, as soon as I saw them score on their opening drive, I'm like, we got this. I literally went to bed after the score was 7-0. I am not even kidding. I was like that confident in like what was going on. Although it's me, I was tired and I really did need to get some sleep, and I did. And partly the medicine that I was given a prescription for yesterday in terms of what I have right now. I was actually prescribed amoxicillin, it's weird. It's like a little like pink pill, like cartoonishly pink. Like just add a little bit of white to this and you'd have exactly what it is. Actually, you know what? I think it might even be magenta. I need to look at the pill again. I don't know, but between that and like, I think I'm trying to fight it off, but like no kidding, I slept so deep last night. I had like the craziest dream like ever. It's the kind of dream where it's sort of like on the borderline of being like a crazy nightmare, but it's not so much where, hold on, I want to keep seeing what happens next. It was like incredibly weird because, and this is where it gets really weird. Like, it was my mom and I were in it. We're trying to move some stuff in some sort of vehicle. I want to say like we're driving a truck when this is going on. Not my father's truck, but it's a truck. And we're trying to move a bunch of furniture to somewhere. I don't really know. But it's a sort of dream where like we're slowly moving up like this one hill, and I keep thinking, and this is where the nightmare part comes in, I keep thinking we're going to fall backwards because it's not that it's a particularly steep hill, but it's a sort of incline where, like, if you stop and you don't have your emergency brake on, you most likely could potentially fall backwards. And, like, I don't know. And what's even weirder, my baby nephew was there. Not one of the twins, but the one that was just born. Like, my nephew was like in the back seat of the car. So it's like my nephew, myself, and my mom. And we're just trying to like drive a truck that's full of furniture up a relative. I would say that was a 45-degree incline. If I was to make like 45, 50 degrees, kind of. Not steep, but most definitely noticeable. Like, if you ever go to Corny, New York, and you, like, try and go up, like, those hills, like that kind of area. So, it was, like, really weird. And it got to the point where, even though, like, we didn't go over any kind of bump or anything, by the time we were done, like, like when something's, like, off kilter, like, you can, like, one sort of, like, adding weight to one side will bring it to the other side, but it left, like, the other side up. You know what I mean? It's, it's sort of, like, hard for me to describe what it is, but, yeah. This is, like, really deep sleep. And then I remember waking up, I'm like, wait, I want to know what happens next. But, I was already awake, and by that point it was like, gosh, what time was it? You know what? It was like just after like almost 2 o'clock in the morning because I remember I had to go to the bathroom, which I went to the bathroom. So then I go back to sleep, and obviously that dream's never coming back. It's weird. One of these days, I'm just going to write down, like, what sort of, like, what, if I have, like, a crazy dream, one of these days I'm going to start, like, writing them down. Partly because they would make for good content for these videos. But also, like, I'm going to give them to some kind of expert and, like, ask what they mean. Because at this moment, I'm not really feeling stressed. A little annoyed, and, well, I shouldn't say that. I guess I am always going to be a little bit stressed because I'm always going to be worried about, what lies ahead, getting to commitments on time, stuff like that. So I guess I'm always going to be worried about that. But that's really about it. There's really nothing that, that I'm afraid of right now. Uncertain of maybe, but not, like, afraid of. What I can tell you that I'm not uncertain of is who this week's Hot Ones guest is. And it's really weird because the Hot Ones guest this week is a UFC fighter, Derek Lewis, which I'm reading the name. I'm like, no kidding. I actually know a guy by that name. I'm not going to, well, technically, I guess, well, it's weird. Because I know my policy is like, I never name names so as not to embarrass or offend anyone. But, full disclosure, more than one person has the exact same name. It may be spelled differently, and maybe the middle name is different. But, for example, more than one person is named Nick Cutler. Just like more than one person is named Derek Lewis. Although this Derek Lewis, the one that's on Hot Ones, spells his name with 2 R's and a C. But really the name pronunciation is not different from the person that I know from high school, actually. So, cool, I guess. I actually did a little digging up on this particular, on Derek Lewis, the UFC fighter, not the guy that I know. And he's actually poised to win the title one day. Like, the heavyweight title, which is like 285. I'm like, okay, sure. Go at it. Actually, who is the current title holder right now? Hold on. Let me look this up right here. See, Current and all-time UFC champions. Okay. So, Okay, right now the current heavyweight, it's up to 265, not 285. So um, the current heavyweight champion is Francis Ngannou. It's spelled Ngaunou. Or Gano? Ngannou? I don't, I don't really know. But, yeah. Think, apparently Surreal Game is the interim heavyweight champion who beat Derek Lewis. Okay. You know what? I honestly don't really know how this works. I mean, if you're the champ, you're the champ, I guess. See, this is why I'm not an expert on UFC. Even though years ago, had I done both cross country and wrestling in college, I would have considered a career in the UFC. But it wasn't meant to be, I guess. It's cool. I've always been more of a pacifist anyway. Maybe because I'm too nice of a guy, I don't know. Anyway, not really much left to talk about. I mean, there's nothing going on today. The Masked Singer is, tomorrow. And I'm going to be talking about this as we get closer to the end. But believe it or not, my family and I are going back up to Keuka Lake for at least 2 more Saturdays, which that's cool for me. I'll take that all day long. I'm actually really kind of glad that that's the case. I mean, a year ago, I was already done. Seriously, day 1,000 was the final time I was ever up at Keuka Lake in 2020. And I guess we're keeping the train rolling in 2021, even after the fact. So, I'm going to have to really look back on all the Keuka Lake videos I did if I'm able to. But I think I may just about have 40 days I was up at Keuka Lake to do a video. Which is cool. I was hoping I would have at least 36, but I'll get into the math a little bit later. Anyway, wow, is it really just the end of September already? I could have sworn we just started this month and now we're already the final Tuesday before it's over. Which means I really should get to my One Piece arc reviews, arc thoughts at some point. I'll probably do that a little bit later this week. Hopefully either, Wednesday or Thursday. One of those 2 days I'll do it. Anything else going on this week? Not particularly. Last night I was feeling it's getting to that time of year where having soup and casserole eating weather. So last night I'm I'm going to get myself some soup from the store. I got myself canned chicken corn chowder, which it was okay. Honestly, I never really go much for soup anymore. Probably because I never really do seem to cook it to my liking. It's either too hot for me to eat, and therefore I have to wait a long time before I can actually eat it, or it's too cold and therefore I have to cook it even longer, but it winds up being too hot for me to eat. So, I don't know. Maybe if I have soup again, I'll probably get something else. I'll have to wait and see. Like, favorite, share, subscribe, and follow me on social media. I'm YouTube. I'm very humble in this video for you guys are watching. Joe for me. Hope you have a wonderful, wonderful Tuesday. Remember, you guys, when we're talking, I'm going to be here to let you know. Sorry, back. Take care and make good choices. See ya.